the suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Coloradians and everyone that's smart enough to listen from the outside.
It's one of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
Before we get started on today's episode, we just want to give a shout out to the world champion Denver Nuggets. Congratulations, winning in 5, making me look like a fucking genius. Not that I called it, but I should get an ode to being a genius. And a follow-up, we're sending our thoughts and prayers to the 10 that were shot last night during the celebrations downtown. Goodness gracious. But nonetheless, congratulations to Jokic, Murray, Aaron Gordon, MPJ, Bruce Brown, KCP, Coach Malone, and the whole squad. We're happy for you. Celebration on Thursday for the parade. Obviously, we talk about what's to do this week on the podcast now, but we wanted to throw that in there because we recorded this episode before the Nuggets beat the fuck out of the Heat. Cheers. Party. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another week of Stoned Appetit with your host, as always, it's me, Kip, and across the digital studio, oh my God, it's Eve and her cat. Eve, what are you doing?
Nothing, just sitting here with my cat, talking to you.
What's the name of your cat?
Oh, this is Luna.
Oh, that's not that can count as an Eve fact. I'll allow it.
Okay.
We're getting into them early today. Well, we appreciate Luna joining us for the pod. We've got a doozy of an episode for them today. Eve finally went out and partied with Kip. We're breaking through. Yes, we're best friends. We're best friends. We're going to recap Drink Red, Wear Red. We'll talk about the weekend that was, all the great eats and things that were going on, including things we missed. And then we'll talk about the week ahead. We've got, I don't know when the fuck Chris comes back, but we've got a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be awesome. And then Chris, I think, returns next week. So when we do recap of Aspen Food and Wine, we'll also be recapping Africa. So that'll be a 2-hour episode. It'll be a doozy. But we got a doozy for everyone today. A lot of food reviews, things of that nature. It's going to be a blast. Before we dive into all of that, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Eve, it's Father's Day, and what better collection than our friends over at Breck Distillery. They've got the Father's Day specials, 23 different bourbons, all tailored perfectly for the special father in your life that drinks. If you're looking for a Father's Day gift, they do home deliveries. If you're living here in Colorado and you're just looking for a cocktail for when you go to the mountains this weekend, Breckenridge Distillery is there for you. It's the everyday approachable whiskey, the one you don't have to worry about breaking the bank when you go, the one where you can find it at almost every liquor store, and the one that's made right here in our backyard. That's Breckenridge Distillery. If you're not a whiskey person, if dad's not a whiskey person, don't worry. They have rum, gin, vodka, bitters. Fuck, they even have bar mats. They've got something for everybody over there. So if you're looking for the perfect gift for dad, look no further than our friends over at Breckenridge Distillery. And speaking of which, for the cannabis community, everybody knows it's our folks over at Ritual, the local glass shop that keeps on giving back. Ritual has been there for us since day one with all our parties. You'll see them at our parties again this summer, but you can also now find them at their website, ritual-co.com, to load up on products. You can have that shipped to your house if you're in Colorado, just in time for Father's Day. And if you are outside the Square State, old number 38, well, then we'll get it to you lickety split, and you can get free shipping with promo code Stoned Appetit. That's right, Stoned Appetit at ritual-co.com. And they have a whole collection from first timers that maybe are just looking to hide a bong above the toilet away from the kids, or maybe you're looking for a nice piece to hang on the mantle in front of your friends. There's something for everyone, from the dry vape, flower vape rigs they have in play to those that you're looking for the heavy hitter concentrates and hash. They've got something for everyone. Woo! I did it, Eve.
Good job.
All right,
All in
now
one breath.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. Yeah, I broke up the monotony. So you give us a rundown. How was it going out with Kip for the first time as a Stone Appetit team member?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. You brought all your peeps were there. I met a lot of your friends.
Yeah, those are, I didn't bring those. Those are people that like to support the restaurant. But for what we're talking about is Eve tagged along to the Drink Red, Wear Red event last week, where we work it by posting about pictures and things. But we wanted her to kind of get to know members of the community and some of those restaurants. And boy, did we. What was your favorite bite?
I had the crostini with the beef wagyu on it. Did you try that?
I don't know if I did. There were so many. I don't know if I can ever hit all 40 of them.
Okay, it was at the very end. It was towards the end of that first room, but I think that was my favorite.
That may have been Lucinia. I know they brought the hammer and it was a gorgeous piece, but I don't know exactly. The roasted asparagus was dank. I'm a sushi guy. I thought the hand rolls were fucking delicious as well. That really brought a joy to my eye, but the booze, all the wine.
You enjoyed it. I'm not a wine drinker, but
It was still a good time, and they had
Yeah.
a litany of different boozes. I was feeling it on Friday. It was a really tough time, but it was for a good cause.
yeah, you got drunk for a cause. So
Yeah. Did you
Good
do
for you.
anything cool the rest of the weekend?
not too much. I stopped by the Chalk Art Festival in Denver.
Oh, okay,
Um,
yeah. Did
It
the
was okay.
rain
It was just
wash
kind of
it away?
small.
Was it not a
What?
good turnout?
No, a lot of people, a good amount of people were there. I went early because it was supposed to rain. But it was just kind of small. It took like a half hour to walk through, but I mean, some of the art was really cool, and there's actually some like high school students from their high school doing stuff, and those were pretty good, like for kids doing that. Like there was a lot of cool stuff. It just, it was a little, I was kind of done in a half hour, and I was like, okay. So then I left.
So you saw all the exhibits, and it's the ones where, like, if you look at it from a certain angle, it looks like it can be three-dimensional in that capacity. Is that the same one?
They had a couple of those where it's like put your camera here, and I guess they did some sort of perspective thing. But they're mostly just, squares of whatever they decide to paint or whatever.
Did you get any good pictures?
No, I didn't take any pictures.
Damn it, Eve. We're gonna have to
I'm
work
sorry.
on this. No, it's all right. It took Chris like 4.5 fucking years. So I'm glad that you're in the same camp. We're gonna get everybody on the same page one of these days. But I'm sure Mimi's listening to this. Shout out to Mimi. She's probably like, fucking sweet. I could have made something of that. So we'll work on that, Eve. I'm coming with you to the next one.
Okay. Is there going to be a next one soon? Do they do this like monthly or something?
No, but they do a lot of fun, free events in the community, and we like
Oh,
to try
okay.
to tag along to those. So we'll do group outings soon enough, similar to the Drink
Okay.
Red, Wear Red, but more wholesome.
Yeah. More kid friendly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not that. I mean, not exactly. Like, I don't know.
Just saying there's a lot of kids there. A lot of
Okay, yeah.
strollers.
Well, then we won't bring Chris. Yeah, we got it. Okay, he knows the rules. Did you eat anything else besides the buffet of great bites this weekend? Everybody needs to know about. I loved your Thai food review, so I always want more.
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't eat out this weekend.
Okay, well, we're gonna send you with the stipend this weekend so that you can go taste some new places around the community.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. Okay, so after I left you on Thursday, I nursed a very bad hangover Friday, but then I went to an ultimate frisbee game Friday night. Actually pretty fucking cool. There's a good turnout, and it was family friendly as well, Eve. So I checked that box. I was like, oh, there's like kids out there that can kind of play in between quarters, and they play at the School of Mines. And then our friends Wana, the edible company, they have a VIP section out there, and Starbuds was giving away like free joint cards and all this jazz. And then there's like a bar and all that other stuff. And then there's food, as well as Sean Eccles from Andy Frasco and the UN was playing a little set before the game. It turned out to be a hell of a little fucking vibe. We're going to start getting the group outings going, maybe a little calendar where we can all share our fun ideas for the weekend, because this was something cool that I would definitely come back for.
Cool. How long is a game?
Okay, so it coincided with game 4 of the NBA Finals. So what actually happened was I hung out for like 2/3 of the time and then left because I wanted to catch the end of the game at the house. But the first half went about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And then there was like a 15-minute or so break at halftime. So I'd say all in all, it's like a 2-hour experience.
All right, that's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a big time commitment, and it's, you can go out there and make a day out of it in Golden, because like you can either buy cheap ass tickets, like $15, sit in like the GA population, because it's not that crazy, or you can get the upgraded beer, garden package that has the beer and that's presented by Wana and all those, and new terrain. So it's pretty fucking cool. I would thoroughly recommend.
Cool. Is it at the same place every game, or do they like move around? And
so I think this sounds, I mean, I feel a little bit ignorant speaking on it, so don't hold me to this, but it sounds like they're in a league that plays with teams around, I don't know, country, region, state, like, but they were playing Salt Lake City, so at least it's multi-state. And then our friends at Starbuds are their sponsors, which is why we were kind of out there goofing off. But it sounds like they have a couple other folks that help sponsor events, and they travel and do some other stuff. So maybe it's more on the lines of club sports, maybe. Like there are a bunch of real estate agents that do this at Wash Park in the free time, and then they're so good at it they join the club team. I think it's something like that. It's not like D1 athletes out there just like churning and burning guys in their elder years.
Right. But Frisbee people are pretty intense.
Was it a thing where you get in LA or Maine? Are you experienced?
No, I just feel like in college, like people took it very seriously, and it was just, and people who are really into Frisbee I feel like are like really into it. So
now, are we talking Frisbee golf? Or are we talking mainly ultimate Frisbee, or both?
Like ultimate Frisbee, yeah.
Were they playing it? Where'd you go to school? I didn't read your resume.
I went to school in New Jersey.
Okay. Was it one of those small liberal arts schools? Have I already asked you this?
No, you haven't asked me.
Okay.
It wasn't too small, but
yeah, I always think of the movie PCU with Jeremy Piven and David Spade when they're doing like college visits. It's pretty interesting of a movie, but that's what I think of when I think of any school in the Northeast, because I have a small brain and it's smooth. But that's what I think of, like kids playing hacky sack in the quad, like, huge feminist movement running across the campus, and then some ultimate Frisbee guys that are like, you stole the Frisbee.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a lot of colleges, I feel, but yeah, it was that plus Guido's.
Jersey Shore style?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Was it a commuter school, or was it a bunch of people that lived on campus and like life surrounded the campus, and so did the town?
No, you could live on campus, and there was also housing off campus. It was a pretty good college town. We were like 25 minutes from Philly. So if you wanted to like get into the city, you could take a bus and
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, we're going to start playing. These are fun Eve facts. We're going to have people guess where you went to school rather than you telling them, because I mean, there's probably tons of little schools peppered all over there that are like, no, we don't go to state schools down up here. But at the same time, that's all we had down there. So I have no frame of reference of like being able to hop on a bus and be in a metropolis city in like an hour. That's beyond our knowledge here. So we're going to get more Eve facts. What'd you graduate with? No, I know this one. Film.
Yeah, film was my major.
Yeah, I knew that. Okay. Whew, nice save. We learn something new every day. Okay, so Ultimate Frisbee was Fun Friday, and then I went to another fundraiser Saturday, Eve. It's one that folks need to know about. It's called Food for Thought. Food for Thought is a local fundraising campaign that actually sends 100% of their proceeds and donations back into the community for school lunches for kids that maybe don't have lunches on the weekends. And it started with one dude and maybe some friends of his at a bar, and working with one school. And now they work with 78 schools across the metro area, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now like hundreds of people show up under a bridge every Friday during the school year and help pack lunches. So I went to something called Rockabelly, also in Golden. I pretty much spent the weekend in the burbs. and it was awesome. I got to meet Bill Ball, I believe is his name, not to be confused with Bill Burr, the comedian, but this guy was a hoot and a holler as well. He's the founder, and we're going to get him on this podcast because he's doing great shit in the local community. And so when running through what did we do last week and what did we eat, I wanted to make sure I gave a shout out to Food for Thought because they're doing something really fucking cool in the local community. And if we aren't using our platform to help our community, then we're not really using it properly. So if y'all are looking for finding ways to get involved in the community, maybe make some friends, maybe you're looking for a significant other that has like-minded goals, like helping out the community, being a member of the community, this is a great way to get to know other folks. There were a fuck ton of people just getting litty McTitty up in this place in Golden. I mean, all for a good cause, but just like cutting a rug and slugging booze. First Thursday, then Saturday. I was licking my wounds yesterday. I was on the struggle bus bad. Today too, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're functioning, honestly.
I'm not doing it very well. And it's because yesterday I was back at it. We went to brunch down at Tupelo Honey. I give it like a 7, maybe a 6.8. They do Southern food, and I'm a very big critic of it. So it's kind of hard to do it right. But it's not bad. And it's a group. They have a, really fun, vibrant kind of interior and patio for spring weather when it's not fucking raining. And then we went to the Rockies game where it did fucking rain on us, but I got a hot dog and a couple drinks. And then on the train home, we grabbed Zomama, which if you haven't had this, Eve, it's a little kind of a strip mall style dining experience right outside of Union Station. So it's at the bottom of a business complex right next to Tavernetta, but it started in Boulder. This lady, I guess, was making food for either her son or her grandson when he was in college at CU. And it was dank ass dumplings, like homemade dumplings that were dank as shit. And they ended up turning it into a business up in Boulder, opened a second one right next to Union Station. And so while I don't use the public transit often, not that there's anything wrong with it, it's actually very convenient from the Arvada. But for those that maybe are hitting the bus or hitting the Union Station happy hours and things, grab this dinner at Zomama. The noodle dishes are like $10. It's the cheapest meal you can get in downtown Denver, and it's fucking delicious. And you're supporting a local family. That's really cool.
All right. Sounds pretty good. I'll have to take note of that.
Yep. Okay, so that covers what we did last week. You want to talk about what we're going to do this week?
What are we doing this week?
You start. What are you doing this week? Tell me what you're doing tonight. If you're not going to watch basketball because the Nuggets aren't your team, what are you doing tonight?
No. I'm supposed to go to Red Rocks to watch Indiana Jones, but it's raining. It's supposed to stop raining, but even then, if I go, it's going to be like 50-ish degrees. So I'm going to be wearing my winter coat and all that. So I don't even know if I want to go. I'm like, I want it to be summer. I want it to be like a cool summer night, and I'm going to be sitting there in like a parka. So
okay, well, that is true. You will, and you'll probably they have weird weather up there. Like, so you may even get a flash rain, even when it says it's just gray, but that's part of the game. That's part of the experience at Red Rocks. It's the joy of it. And it's your first summer here. You've got to just say yes to almost everything. Not everything, because we do have a fentanyl problem in town, but to almost everything. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm trying. I was just like excited to like do a thing at Red Rocks, and now it's like, and then do I have to worry about like lightning up there? I don't know. Halfway through the movie, they're just gonna like turn it off and be like, "Go home so you don't die." I don't know.
Yeah, even if it happens, it's not like you're going to like see John Wick 4 and you're like, "Oh, I'm left without an ending." We know how all of the Indiana Joneses end, so you're safe in that notion. That's a small, consolation. It's more for the camaraderie and being in nature, but also being able to watch the movie. And it's just cool to take it all in. So I would recommend eating a little mushroom and going up there and enjoying the experience. If you eat a little mushroom and some of those edibles we got you from our friends over at Wana, shout out Wana, you'll be right as rain. And if you get a little too high, you can use the weather as an excuse to leave early. I've done that 1,000 times.
Yeah, I could get high. My friends are driving, so right.
See,
I should just take some shots before I go, so I can stay warm. At least.
And if you were going to drink a bourbon to stay warm, what kind of bourbon would you drink, Eve?
Oh, no.
Holy fuck, how are you so bad at this? Shout out to our sponsors, Breckenridge
I was
Distillery.
gonna say Breckenridge, but I was like, no, that's not it.
That's
Don't
it.
put this in the fucking episode, please.
You're the one that's the producer, so it's up to you.
Well,
I'm gonna put it in there. This is
Don't.
great. I'll send you the file and you can determine if you think. I think this is wonderful. I think it shows how we're working, and we'll all be able to look back and laugh at how far we've come in 10 years when we're ringing the bell at the NASDAQ.
Oh, okay. Big
I don't think that's
plans.
a thing, but yeah, they're not going to pick us. It's okay.
No.
But nonetheless, that was really well done. You should take some shots, eat an edible, go up there. And yeah, maybe bring a blanket and bring also like a poncho and then sit on the poncho because it may already be wet. Put the poncho down, then the blanket, and then sit on it.
Yeah, I am gonna bring a blanket. I don't have a poncho though, but
You're gonna have to hit a Walgreens on the way.
maybe I'll just bring a garbage bag, be that person.
Yeah, you could do a garbage bag. No, there's not a lot of judgment in those. And once the sun goes down, all that matters is that you're dry. No one's gonna be like, oh, look at that resourceful white trash girl over there. They're just gonna say, look at that resourceful girl.
Yeah.
And if it starts
fine.
raining, you can use the poncho to put on top of your parka so you're double dry.
Yeah. That's true.
I think you got to go to the show.
I mean I am, but I'm just like bummed out.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have to go back later in the summer for some more experiences.
Yeah. For music or something.
Yeah, maybe we go to Widespread Panic in a couple weeks.
Maybe.
That's an experience. You would love it. I promise.
Oh no. I don't know.
I think you will. We don't wish
I'm
that.
looking him up. I'm gonna look him up.
You will look them up live videos because there's actually our friends over at Esther's, the pizza chain. There's 3 locations across the metro. They have a bus that will take you to and fro Red Rock shows so that you can, like, let's say if your friends aren't wanting to drive, everybody wants to get spun up, you can hitch a ride on the S bus and they pick up there and you get delicious pizza and chicken wings before and after if you're hungry.
Sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet. So look into it, but definitely look into Red Rock's videos of maybe throw on a little chili water or going out west. Those are some fun live renditions from Red Rocks.
Okay.
Also, Knocking Around the Zoo is a fun one. Summer 2011 Sunday show, all covers. Stuff like that. You'll find a bunch of good ones out there, but you'll get a fair representation of what it looks like when you go party with Chris and I at Red Rocks.
Okay.
All right. So you
Go ahead.
You'll be prepared. You're going to be
Yeah.
prepared. I'm proud of you. It's going to be a totally different beast than tonight, though.
Okay.
All right. And then you'll pick a concert of your favorite music and we'll go to that one too.
All right.
What's on your Spotify right now if it's not our podcast?
This music wise?
Yeah.
Well, I saw I'm debating, do you know Shaky Graves?
We do.
They're playing at Red Rocks and I like them.
That's what we have to do then. We'll have to go as a group.
Maybe. I think it's like next week though, or the week after maybe.
I have a sneaking, I think they're also playing, we're going up to Winter Park in a couple weeks and they're playing up there as well.
Oh. Like you already have
Yeah.
tickets for there, or they'll just be there as you happen to be?
They'll be there as I happen to be, but we may actually, so there's a music festival called something in Winter Park. Can you look that up or let's race? Let's see who can do it quicker. I think it's called, is it Blues from the Top? I think it's Blues from the Top. And Blues from the Top is Friday through Sunday, June 23rd to 25th. So it's actually, yeah, this is definitely it. So they're playing on, I believe, Friday night, and I'm going to try to go Saturday night for Galactic, the funk band. It should be a doozy. Did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, so shout out to me. I nailed
Yeah.
that.
Well, there you go.
All right, so we'll try and see, even if we, maybe we can get you the tickets, even if we can't make it happen, because I'm about to run out of like battery life. I
Oh, like
swear
right now?
No, just in
What?
general.
Oh.
Shaky Graves are not playing. Never mind. It was drive-by truckers. Mea culpa. I'm sorry about that. And Grace Potter is also playing. So that
Oh
is
yeah,
kind
she's
of
cool.
yeah. But no, I meant because I've literally been on this like gauntlet run for like 2 weeks. And then this week I'm headed up to Aspen for the Food and Wine Classic. And I'm just not sure if next week I'll have the energy to run it back at Shaky Graves at Red Rock. So we'll play that by ear for me, but we're gonna have to get you into the stands for that one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm debating whether I want to go. I have to look at the weather, I guess, now, but
All right. So it's not usually like this, and we're all going to be complaining in July about how it's 101 and how it was just 60 a month ago. I was wearing a hoodie in June. So I think folks need to be taking it for don't be taking it for granted and enjoying the gray haze of like wearing hoodies in June like we were this weekend. Like that's a great problem to have because come August, when there's no sports on and it's 107 outside every afternoon, we're all going to be fucking miserable, sweating around, sitting in the park, bored to tits.
cool. Giving me something to look forward to.
Yeah. Just
Thanks,
dream
Kip.
big, dream big. But it gets hot. Just don't worry. But
Uh,
no, I was thinking it was going to be much warmer this week when I'm headed up to Aspen. And I have all these badass linen floral shirts I was going to take up there, like 1970s. Like, I don't know. I thought they looked really hip. And then I looked at the weather and the high is like 56 and the low is like 39. I'm like, God damn it. So now I have to go shopping to find something cool that's normal long sleeves. And it's not going to be nearly as fun as wearing linen all summer, which is the goal, as I'm wearing today.
I see that. Well, still bring some because the sun could come out.
Yeah, I will. And I'm just gonna have to find like a really hip sweater and wear that on the top and just make that my the look for the weekend. Like just casual yet refined. That's what we're looking for.
That's you. One
Yeah,
sentence.
that's all. Yeah. Well, we have a kick-ass episode coming this Thursday with Stephen Wolf from Groovy Gravy. That's kind of a tongue twister. I thought we did really well here, Eve. We started roughly right around 2:01 or something like that and went 30 minutes. We learned your cat's name today, a little bit more about your college experience. Maybe a GeoGuessr will put us on exactly the university. I'm sure somebody will figure it out. But at the same time, and then we also recapped Drink Red, Wear Red. Anything else we missed?
Well, did you want to talk about Guy Fieri or you?
Oh yeah, Fieri. Guy Fieri is my favorite person ever. He will be the guest of honor or one of them this week at the 40th anniversary of Food and Wine Classic, I think is what it is. He's one of the big names or whatever. So when I meet him, I'm going to cry, potentially pee on myself, and then ask him in person if he'll come on the pod. And if he says yes, I will offer to be like, hey, we'll come to you whenever works for you. You let us know. We'll buy flights. We'll bring the team out. We'll do a whole thing about meeting Guy Fieri. And once he eventually says yes, even if it's not this time, we're going to plant the seed and we're not going to burn the bridge and go fanboy. And I mean, we will, but not too bad. Like I'll probably have like a crying face when I'm smiling, like meeting him, like a happy cry, but nonetheless. Besides that, we'll keep our composure for the most part. We've got a bunch of events lined up. Friends in the community have hooked it up, as well as the folks from Aspen. It's going to be gnarly. It's just like there's a caviar and champagne tasting on Saturday. Like,
Oh boy, you're gonna have a good time.
yeah, and then there's like a whiskey tasting right here, and then there's this over there. There's like a top chef is doing lunch up on the mountain. Would you like to come to lunch? And you're like, holy crap.
Wow.
And so I don't really know exactly what to expect, but I do know that we need to make sure we act professional in however we behave for the day. So that's the goal, is to not lose our invite for the future years.
Yeah.
While also getting Guy Fieri on the podcast.
Yeah, that's a good goal. I feel like there's gonna be like a lot of fancy people there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are like way like, they're going to be like, look at this pleb. He shops at the mall. Whereas everybody else has like tailored clothes on. I'll be like, but that's okay. I'm
That's
going to
okay.
I don't give a fuck.
Own
You
it.
know?
You'll be
I-
that guy, you know?
I am always that guy. If you didn't see that on Thursday, that party may not have been for me, but it might as well have been for me. And so we'll treat every day as such going forward for the rest of my life. But the two goals, make sure we don't burn our bridges to come back next year and get Guy Fieri on the podcast. Also, we need to touch base with Chris, like just even a wellness check, see if he's alive. Maybe we can find out if Chris can be added to this episode. We'll try to get Chris. I think he's headed back to civilization. He's been sending some gnarly videos. Wild game, eating other wild game, which I don't think we're going to publish on Instagram, but we'll probably put it on YouTube because, I mean, he's doing a fucking gnarly ass safari and they like followed a pack of animals for a whole day. It sounds like it's a really neat experience, and we look forward to having Chris back on the podcast to talk more. But in the meantime, Eve, you've been a wonderful second chair.
Thanks, Kip.
I mean, you knock it out of the park. Before we get out of here, give us a good Eve fact. I know you brought something cool today.
Okay. In college, during the summer, I studied abroad in the Czech Republic for a month, and that was pretty fun.
Ooh, where'd you live in the Czech Republic?
I lived like right in Prague, like a 10-minute walk from Old Town Square, if you know where that is.
I'm not as worldly as Chris obviously is, and he also went abroad for school. So we're gonna have to have a sophisticated conversation when he comes back. But at the same time, we've heard wonderful things, both from cost of living to the food, and like
Yeah.
obviously Yacht Week is always prominent on social media and things of that nature. But it has just like miles and miles of coastline, so I can only imagine unbelievable food from spanning the whole country.
Yeah, it's pretty good food, and it's just like a really safe place. At least it was when I was there forever ago. And it's just like beautiful, like walking around and the cobblestone streets and all that.
Rich
And again, at the
architecture and
time,
history.
beer was cheaper than water to order at a bar. So you'd probably love it there. If that's still the case.
Fuck, Eve. I'm not even a beer drinker. I like wine and tequila and our friends over at Breck Distillery. That was a great episode. I love the Eve facts. Once Chris gets back, we're going to learn a hodgepodge. We're going to put together the whole Eve puzzle. Before
Good
we
luck
go,
solving it. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah, it's
buddy.
a big jigsaw. We're going to figure it out slowly but surely. I hope you have a great evening tonight. We'll reconvene. We're going to get Chris on the pod, and we look forward to Kip, Eve, and Wolf on Thursday's episode. Without further ado, don't forget, stay high, stay hungry.
Cheers. What am I saying now?
Cheers.
You told me to say cheers at one time, and I'm just holding on to that.